The all-new 22 Civic, now on sale at Team Honda on Segan Lane.
Hi, we're told there is sound.
Come on,
but
right?
we're waiting to find out. Will there be light? Oh, let there be light.
Yeah, you know
That's
what?
my bad. I put the batteries in the wrong way. Sorry,
I thought
first
it
day on the
just
job.
pinched the cord or something.
Well, this got me so excited that I got twisted with the batteries.
Hey, look.
Sorry about that.
But 71 degrees?
Yeah.
At this point, normally like during the week, because it's 9:15 right now, we're already dealing with like upper 70s, certainly 80 something. It got down to like 61 degrees this morning.
It was glorious.
What?
And the best news is we get it tomorrow.
That's exactly right. That's what Dr. Steve's been telling us. Is like, get ready for Friday morning, get ready for Saturday morning, get ready for your Friday and your Saturday. Then there you see the 10-day forecast. And yeah, it kind of gets a little bit sideways on us as you peek into next week. But why not just enjoy what we got right now? Man, we deserve it.
It's glorious, especially for the fine folks who are still dealing with power outages. So obviously, we've been under a number of heat advisories the last 2 weeks. So when we have temperatures on the low 60s, for people who are suffering without any AC, well, it's a nice time to open your windows and let that cool air in because it's been very, very hot.
Coming up on 2 weeks. And Sunday would obviously be 2 weeks since
13 days
just
now.
Incredible. So when you look at, this is again poweroutage.us, you can see obviously Louisiana's still dealing with a lot of outages, but the number right now is below 190,000 total outages. This thing was easily more than a million plus that, right? Like 1.2 to begin. EBR looking pretty bright blue here. You get over to like Livingston and Ascension Parish, still some work to do. And then a lot of work to do south of that.
And this was projected, right?
Yeah.
The wind damage knocked out a lot of power poles. So as linemen work to clear out the ways where the lines were more easily accessible, they're working their way down into areas where it's going to take a lot more work, time, and resources to make sure the power gets back on. Not an ideal situation for our friends there, especially in Jefferson Parish, Tangipahoa Parish, but they are working to get that restored. So hopefully they make a lot of progress this weekend. You can see even in Terrebonne,
this is
still about 25,000 customers without power.
Literally tracking 27,745 customers, almost 25,000 of them out. So this is actually where Governor John Bel Edwards is going today, taking a tour to see a bit more of the damage. This is one of the hard hit areas, clearly. And then he's set to speak to the media right just before 5.
4:40, roughly.
So right before the 5 o'clock newscast, obviously you can stream that through the 9 News app, and then we'll have the big takeaways for you, later editions of 9 News. But yeah, that's where he's headed, down to Terrebonne.
A lot of people who are without power means they can't store fresh food in their homes. So they might be trying to figure out where can we get a hot meal. I know we talk about this every day, but that's because the list of places for those hot meal distributions changes. And an organization that's always worked to make sure people are fed is the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. Callie was live with them this morning.
Sure
can see the workers getting ready to get those shipments out because they've got a number of giveaways happening today, one that kicked off 15 minutes ago, and into the weekend. So if you know somebody who is still without power, you know somebody who needs a hot meal, please share the story with them because this is going to be first come, first serve, and you want to make sure they get a good spot in line.
They have such an incredible reach, the food bank does, and their ability to turn that $1 into like $6, $7, $8, $9 and really purchase that food purchasing power and to get out. They've been doing this almost since Ida made landfall. Gave it a couple days to get everything together, but they've been doing this for a number of days now. But you made a good point in the newscast, the broadcast this morning. They do this 365. This is what they do, and they could use some help with some of this. You can volunteer. You can certainly donate time, money, food, all that. All this waiting for you right here.
That's it. It's a great resource for you to get involved in any way. And again, does not have to be a $100 donation. It could be a $5. It could be your cup of coffee if you go to Starbucks. Maybe forego that today to make sure a couple families are getting what they need for dinner tonight.
This is still a pretty good resource for a lot of folks. Look, sandbags, you're not worried about that right now. Shelters, those aren't going on. Curfews have been lifted. Not a lot of road closures, certainly in our part of the world. You get down south, absolutely. But when we talk about meals, water, ice, more, that kind of thing, and still dealing with some closures-ish. We got a lot of schools picking back up right now. This is still a great resource.
That's it. So this is going to be the one-stop shop for you to find out in your parish what is going on that day, that weekend. Good resource for you to check out as you make those weekend plans. Something else we've talked about. Oh, Matt just brought up school closure. So the plan right now Livingston, back in class today. Some more campuses for Ascension reopened today. And the plan on Mondays for Assumption students to go back. But this is, again, very fluid, so that could change. So if you're a parent, you have a student in the public school system, even private, make sure you're checking on social media pages for all of your children's schools and on the 9 News app here for closures. Because once we get that information from them, we post it there to let you know, am I sending my kid to school tomorrow?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of school,
Ah.
there's a deadline for LSU students, and the deadline is in fact today.
If you are an LSU student, if you have an LSU student, and that child has not gotten a COVID-19 vaccine or taken a COVID test, they could be unenrolled. They will be unenrolled from their classes. And as Matt said, close of business today. Your child needs to prove that they've either gotten the vaccine or one of the vaccines or taken that negative COVID test.
Depending on who you ask, this is a great public health policy or this is government overreach. Regardless, this is a gigantic public institution with a lot of individuals mixing and mingling and walking around. And so they are trying to keep as many folks safe as they possibly can.
Yes.
And so that's what this is. But yeah, the deadline is today. And so, you know, if you are a parent, like you said, of a student, and maybe your student isn't quite following the emails and getting the emails.
Which, let's face it, college kids, especially
you
freshmen,
kidding?
are you checking your email regularly?
Hello?
No, probably not.
Probably not.
So please share this important thing with them so they know which classes they will still have and be enrolled for come Monday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, pay attention to that.
Yes.
The WAFB sports section right now is filled with all sorts of stuff going on. You have
All sorts
Sportsline
of
Friday night, obviously big high school ball games going on. All the videos you could possibly handle from all the high schools all around the area. The Friday night lights are huge. But the Saturday night lights this weekend, Liz, the Saturday night lights, our Tigers and Jags are home.
Yes, they are. Home openers for both of our hometown teams, and we are excited to welcome them back home.
Yeah.
Start up the seasons here, hopefully on a different leaf for both teams.
Right.
But if you are headed out that way, maybe you plan on buying tickets today, spending that time on Ticketmaster trying to secure those tickets. There are some things you need to know. Let's start with LSU first.
Yep, absolutely.
If you are planning to head to Death Valley tomorrow, you either need to show that you've gotten at least one dose of a COVID vaccine, or you need to show proof of a negative COVID test
Within 72 hours of kickoff.
Yes.
And so okay, now how are we going to do that? That seems like it's going to take a whole lot of time. What LSU has done is actually you can do like a pre-screening. It's kind of like a Disney Fast Pass kind of thing. Pre-screening, and they've got about a dozen or so sites set up physically that you can go and do this before the game, a number of hours before the game. Pre-screened, get a little wristband, and then once kickoff is about to happen, you just right into the game.
Yes.
But they're also putting folks on golf carts, almost like a dozen of those, moving around the campus to allow people to pre-screen that way.
The goal is to expedite this process to get them in.
Right there.
Yeah.
Because the idea for LSU anyway is to, once you get into the stadium, mask free at that point, because you have, hopefully, and it's all legit and you haven't faked anything, you have proven vaccine or you have proven negative test.
Yes.
And then they're going to allow you to just party there in Tiger Stadium.
The outdoor stadium.
Exactly right. That's the idea.
The theory, yes.
Yeah. A little bit different over on the bluff for the Southern Jags.
Yeah, so really important to not confuse the two. So make sure you know before you go.
Correct.
For Southern, it is a face covering policy, so not a vaccine policy. They're not going to ask you for your vaccine card or for you to show proof of a vaccine, but you do have to wear a face covering inside the stadium. If you plan on going in the press box or one of the suites in Mumford Stadium, you do need to show that you have proof of a vaccine or proof of a negative COVID test. So again, policies are very different depending on where you're sitting.
Yeah, just pay attention to it.
Please pay attention here. Over at LSU, they're actually partnering with Our Lady of the Lake to do vaccines. If you want to roll up your sleeve. If you happen to get a ticket and you're like, well, look, I want to go, but I didn't get a vaccine. Well, you can get it done tomorrow. Just get it done before the game, before you get in, so all your ducks are in a row to get in the stadium.
Just trying to do things as safely as we can.
That's
so
the
that we
goal.
can enjoy the things that we all want to be a part of. And I get it. Look, the vaccine and the virus, it's a hot topic and certainly can be a testy topic, but there are ways we can all get together on this and enjoy the things we want to do. I mean, look, it's big games for both. Looking for their first wins, obviously. Both LSU and Southern left a lot on the field to be desired last weekend. Speaking of fields, at Southern, literally dedicating the field to a freaking legend. I mean, that's going to be a lot of fun. Pete Richardson Field now at Mumford Stadium. This will be the first time that field will be played on with that name. A lot going on, a lot to be happy about. Let's be safe about it. Let's be nice about it. Let's be courteous about it. And let's just purple and gold, blue and gold, get after it.
Yes, and then on Sunday we've got the Saints.
Black and gold.
Of course, they're not going to be at home given what Ida has done to New Orleans. They're going to be in Jacksonville, but still, it's going to be exciting to be able to cheer them on. We've got a weekend full of football, and this is the weekend to finally say, you know what, let's take a little bit of a break if you can, and let's watch some football.
And again, it starts tonight with the Friday night lights. It spills over to those Saturday
Sports
night lights.
line, yeah.
Exactly, and then the Sunday games. And it's just, breathe it in. South Louisiana's gone through a lot right now, and we continue to pick up the pieces, and Ida will be obviously the top story for a while to go now, certainly one of them, that and the virus. But keeping in our hearts and minds those who are still continuing to go through all this, just hope that everybody gets to take a minute, just a minute, and enjoy the forecast, enjoy the weather, enjoy that nice, and maybe smile at a game or two. But a lot to do.
That's it.
Yeah, take this, you're right.
Please take care of yourselves. As Matt said, take a breath, step outside and enjoy this
Do it.
because we've got 2 days of it, Matt, so we're going to make the most of that. We're going to make the most of having football this weekend, and we hope the best for you.
Absolutely.
Take care of yourself, take care of your family, and we will see you Monday.